Hello, hello, my Star Atlas family. It's me. I'm back with another video to keep you updated on what's happening in Star Atlas. I just wanted to watch this video again because it was just the bomb. It was really, really nice. So, yeah. Anyway, the meat and bones of this video is actually going to be the Aephia report. How do I say it? The data runner report of January 2023. But before we get to the Aephia data runner report, I just wanted to watch this video again and to just tell you something that Siggy did pick up on and that I watched in the MetaVerse Nomads, and I thought I wanted to cover as well. So as you can see, this is the the bloody hell. I always do it. This is the Opal Jet. And you can see whenever they go and select this skin, you can actually see there's a whole bunch of other options as well. And just there, just behind me. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go to Siggy's Twitter. If you don't follow Siggy, go and follow him. Very, very good source of information. I'm just going to power through this video, guys, because I already filmed it once and I hadn't actually pressed record, so my voice is dying. So I got to hurry up and do this video. It's hard to talk for 30 minutes non-stop and then do it twice. It's very, very hard, especially at this speed and rate and how you do it. Anyway, so you can see Siggy has actually taken a screenshot of all this. You can see he said the Opal Jet, there's a 0 to 7 default legendary skins. Thimble Lobby default, Calico Medtech default, Bumblebee default, the Debug skin, not sure if that's like just debugging or that's an actual skin. The Hellfire skin, the RPC, which is a PS Black-Red skin, a Profile, and a Stealth skin. And there's also 29 more items. Now, I'm not sure if all those 29 items are actually going to be for the Opal Jet, but you can see there's one here, which is the Opal Jet Black on Black. This was shared in the Foundation room by Bunthius, I think it was. Now, I wonder, do you guys actually like this Black on Black? Like, I'm a fan of it a little bit, only because I probably have one because I'm a Rebirth poster participant. But apart from that, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't appeal to me so much because it's a concept art at the moment, and it's not actually a UE5 picture. Well, at least I think it's not a UE5 picture because it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I personally actually like the what do you call it? The red one, red and black. That suits the style and the aesthetic of it. But the Black on Black is also pretty cool. I don't know, if I was to pick between the red and the black, I think the red one. But the black is also okay. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Do you like the Black on Black, or do you like the red one that we saw in the previous video? I think here, let's go to it again. I think the red one. That one. Look at that. That just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? That looks hella gorgeous. The gray one, not so much. I'm okay with the red one. And here we are. Oh, amazing. I don't know if that's the Hellfire or if that's the PS. Where was it? If that's the Hellfire or Black-Red. RPC Black-Red. Well, it's not a PS ship, so I don't know if that's applicable. But anyway, that's a Black on Black. Yeah, just a little video, a little picture from the Foundation room. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the meat and bones of this video, which is going to be the Aephia Data Runners Report of January 2023, brought to you by Victor and Stratugo. This report is only about 3 days old, give or take. Now, Victor and Stratugo are really good members of the Aephia, how should I say it, DAC. And every month, every month, they come on to the town hall in Aephia, and then they just kind of go through their data findings on the blockchain for Star Atlas. Now, because they can do this because most of the data for Star Atlas is on chain, and it just takes someone to know how to find that data, how to interpret that data, and then present that data. And this is kind of a report that we do. And they also come on and kind of explain how they extrapolate this data, kind of what they grapple with when they're trying to define this data and trying to say, okay, this is a good way to find this, but then we're missing out on all these people, and then we have to solve for X, and it gets very complicated. So I really appreciate them using their outside, like, real life knowledge to try and help us understand the Star Atlas metaverse and the Star Atlas data, because data is key, right? It's information warfare. This is what it is. So let's have a look. They distilled it very, very smoothly, very easily for people like me and some people out there to understand. I wasn't going to say you, but for some people to understand. So let's go through it. 1.1. New faction registrations in January are down to 130 registrations in the last week of the month. You can see it has been slowly declining since December. This is not much of a surprise. The Star Atlas community isn't marketing. No new members are coming in, so the last people that are left are still just slowly dwindling. Let's go to the active users in Score. Decline is slowing down. You can see from July to September to November, the decline has been slightly more significant. You can see there's a sharp drop here. These two, not so much. Sharp drop there. But you can see comparing December and January, you can see that it's actually pretty similar. So we haven't had much active monthly users leave. But let's have a little quick definition there. Monthly active user just means monthly active wallet, right? So monthly active wallet doesn't mean that it's same users. I myself have 2 active wallets. So I wonder how many wallets you have active, and how many wallets times that by a DAC, and then times that by the entire Star Atlas community, right? So let's say if there's like 20,000 active users, active wallets, I would say maybe 10,000 of those are actual players. Maybe even less, let's be honest, maybe like 5,000, because I wouldn't doubt that there's one person out there who has 100 wallets that are active and resupplying itself using a bot. So that's one person counting for 100. And if he has a guild that does this himself, then damn, that's like the whole community. But it's not the whole community. It's just an example to kind of illustrate what people can do. And when money is involved, you don't want to miss out on any Atlas rewards. So you're going to have a bot running for you. It's just kind of just makes sense, you know? I don't have that facility. Like, you can use the Jeeves bot, which you can just have one ship in one wallet using the Jeeves bot all the time. Hey, Pepe, are you an active member in the Star Atlas community? Let us know down below. Anyway. Active users in the marketplace lockers, you can see that after claim stakes in December, it did kind of go back to normal, which was in the November and December period. Land and claim stakes did see a giant spike in trading volume over here at the end of January. This is when they announced, like, hey, the rewards are stopping. You better come buy. If you're not going to buy, you're going to miss out. And people are like, oh, damn, I got to go buy. Yeah, so that's what we see on this graph right here. Giant spike. I'm sure it's probably down a lot further now. Let's have a look at the Star Atlas marketplace ship volume. Ship volumes are down to 10 to 30k USDC daily. Now, something I wanted to notice, wanted to let you guys know here. Let's have a look. Actually, let's see if we can open this image by itself. Yeah, let's zoom in here so we can see. So the blue, what you see in the blue is actually Atlas volume, and what you see in orange is USDC volume. Now, can't you see, isn't it just very pitiful? Look at the Atlas volume compared to the USDC volume, right? What my question to everyone is, what are you using Atlas for? Right? I can answer that question myself. I'm using it to refuel my ships, and I'm using it to buy a little bit of extra resources just on the side, like another 10%, just to stack up as a little hedge, because when Sage does launch, it might be difficult in the first place, but this tactic is like a little bit speculative. Score will still be going for a while, and resources will still be on the marketplace. But in the worst case, and in the worst case scenario, like, I don't lose the Atlas, right? I still have resources to use for my ships. You just lose the USDC value if Atlas does go down. But yeah, my question is USD. So if you want to buy anything on the marketplace, you're much better off using the USDC market, because there's so much more volume there than the Atlas market. And volume is really important when you want a nice fluid marketplace. But that also means if the Atlas marketplace is very illiquid, means you can have higher spreads and you can probably make more money. But the time you're going to put in and the effort you're going to put in to notice orders and bids and asks, and it might not be worth it. But hey, it depends on what you think is worth your time, right? If you want to sit there in front of the computer for an hour a day and try and spot a good enough order that you think you can sell and the bot is not noticing it, then hey, go ahead. But for me, I'm like, nah, my time's more important than that, just to make like $100 on a ship. All right, let's keep going down. These are the ships staked in Score. The total VWAP increased to 165 million, nearly 166 million. Let's see what ships left Score. Rainbow Chi, 11 of them left Score. Two for Feist, 12 of them. Opal Jet, 64 of them. What actually did go into Score this month? So let's see. The PSR8 has the highest VWAP in Score. Thimble Ecos Tree Arrow has 11. Chi, the C11 has 11 million VWAP. Rainbow Chi 7 million. So yeah, like there's still lots of ships staked in there. But the next one is actually very interesting. So these are the numbers of various of ships staked in score, as you can see here. You can see Thimble Airbike had 46 extra staked, but their total staked is 213,000. 213,000 Thimble Airbike staked in score. Why is that? Because they're the cheapest ship you can buy. They're like $2.50 at the moment. And think about it. It makes much more sense for you to sell a $1,000 ship. And, well, there's lots of arguments to be made to and for, right? You can say, oh, $1,000 is too much exposure for Star Atlas, so I'm going to sell my $1,000 ship that has like 5 crew members, and I'm going to go and buy 50 Thimble Airbikes and save another $900 in USDC. Now, all of a sudden, you have 5 Thimble Airbikes, you're earning some Atlas, sure, but you also have 5 crew members. Some of them, some of the variability in all the ships, you don't really know the information for them yet because the Star Atlas team hasn't released them yet. You don't know what the value of one crew member is. You don't know how good it's going to be. So it's better to have 5 crew members on a Thimble Airbike if you can remove those crew members later on and put them into any other ship. That gives a base value for the Thimble Airbike. So it might shoot up from $2.50 to back to its VWAP of $15. So we might say then that a crew is like worth $10. You know what I mean? There's so much variability in the information that we just can't make proper decisions. And maybe I'm just thinking too far, and I'm just mumbling and jumbling. Don't mind me, guys. Let's go back to this. The Opal Jet. No, something I did see was very interesting. Rainbow Arc. There's only 168 of them, but they have a very high VWAP ships in score. That's crazy, right? Nearly on the third. Yeah. You guys can go and see this this report down in the comments. I'll link it. I'll put it as a comment. I'll pin it as a comment, and it'll also be in the description. So go ahead and see this. Ships buy and sell trading volume. You can see the trading volume is coming back to nearly the 50% mark. This is after the Aephia collapse and ship discounts in November. Buy sell trading volume is back to normal. They do give you some notes at the bottom. Now this is looking back at the Atlas dominance, which is around 10%. Pretty pitiful, let's be honest. People are trading more in USDC rather than the in-game token that's supposed to be made for trading the in-game items, which are ships, down to 10%. Now, I had a thought, and guys, don't lash out at me for this. Sorry about that. Don't lash out at me to this, but what if we get to a point where no one wants to trade anything in Atlas? It's a useless token. Atlas, the token, has actually failed. Polar's short keeps going, but what would you think would happen then? Like, a lot of people would be very upset. What do you use it for? If their sinks are terrible, if there's more being circulated than there are being sunk, or not even sunk, because for me, there's a different definition of being sunk and actually burnt and taken out of circulation. Yeah, I was just having a very overarching thought, very high level thought about what if the Atlas token is super worthless now, and we aren't doing anything with it because there's no sinks. That doesn't mean it won't have a sink later on, or it won't be utilized later on to its fullest extent. But at the moment right now, and now is a bad time to make a test case of this, but look at the dominance, 10%. It's just pitiful against USDC. I'm rambling now, so let's keep going. One small thing to add on this is people would lose their shit, but as well as the Star Atlas DAO would lose a whole bunch of value in the Star Atlas token, because the DAO has 400 million Atlas tokens. These are from the R4 refuels. Every time you buy a resource from the Star Atlas company, it goes to the DAO. So all of that would be lost value if the Star Atlas token does go to ship. And I know there's a very low likelihood of this happening, but think about it this way, please. What's that term when they say that a company, I don't know how to say it, 90% of companies fail in their first year? Is that the quote, if I have it right? Think about it this way. Star Atlas is a company. Well, Automata itself is a company. Their product is Star Atlas, and if you and me, don't keep buying their products, they're not going to survive, and then the company is going to fail, give or take, in the second or third year, right? So it's not that it's it's sometimes it's just that simple. Companies fail because they're either not in the right market time, they need outside help to get off the ground, the market conditions are not right for them, they made mistakes after mistakes, and it just happens. It's a business, right? And sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. So all I'm trying to say is you have to balance both of them. Star Atlas might not make it. The Atlas token might not make it. So yeah, the Polis token might not make it. For hell, ETH and BTC might not make it. Okay, so what's your hedge against that? My hedge is kind of like real estate, and to hedge my real estate is Bitcoin. To hedge my Bitcoin is Ethereum. To hedge my Ethereum is Solana. And to hedge everything else is a bunch of just cash sitting around and life. Just hedge it with life. Have good memories. Anyway, I rambled on a bit. I apologize. Let's get back to this. I'm going to zoom to this. The SPI Aephia ship price index. I forget how they actually what the criteria is for the ship price index. So I'm not going to touch on it because I don't fully understand it. Let's look at the player activity. Minimal growth. MUD had the biggest growth year on year, month on month, sorry, at 0.9%. But looking at the firepower, Oni actually had the highest increase in firepower in terms of percentage-wise. When we look at overall numbers, sheer numbers, MUD has the highest percentage of firepower, or not percentage, but the highest value of firepower. You can see here, if you go head-to-head MUD versus Oni, MUD is likely to win if everyone is kind of like on board on the battle. But I like to say it's not how big it is, it's how well you can use it, if you know what I mean. If you look at the Oni, they did have the highest percentage increase, but only because their percentage is also the lowest. You can see Oni and MUD, Oni has the lowest amount actually of firepower compared to Ursa and MUD. But it seems like people are moving more towards the Oni. Maybe it has to do with the guild Rome, their Oni. There's the Oni consortium, if I have it right. But the way I see it as well, a lot of the smaller ships and smaller players are in MUD. Yeah. Let's look at the census. I'm going to stop here so you guys can actually pause this or go and read it in the website as well. A whole bunch of units for you to look at. Medium, relative medium. Similar trend in the average VWAP for active players. Usta had a minus 18 of average VWAP for active players. So that's kind of significant, being honest. Month of month, sorry. So there's a whole bunch of information here. I don't have time to digest it and I speak it out, digest it, because I'm losing my voice now, so I'm going to wrap up very soon. Let's look at the appendix, player distribution. This is a very important point. This points to a general shift to lower tier ships compared with the previous month, which is also observable in the cohort distribution. So what are they saying? They're saying that people are moving more towards smaller ships. A couple of reasons why. I can speculate. I can say that the ships at lower tiers do have a higher discount on them, so you're able to earn more Atlas for what you're actually buying. And if the ships do go up in value back to their VWAP, you're going to be making more money. But of course, the counterpoint to that is that when the game launches, you're not going to be able to have a fleet of 50 ships. You're going to have a fleet of like 2 or 3 ships, and they can take out the 50 ships very easily. Plus, you won't actually be able to have a fleet of 50 different fleets, for example. So yeah. Another thing is like the crew argument. It's much better to have the Thimble Airbike for $2.50, which has 1 crew, rather than a $10,000 ship, which has a 10 crew. Yeah, like lots of different arguments. I know the crews are different specialities, but let's be honest, we don't even know what they do. Let's be honest. Yes, it says the turret gunner. We haven't seen a turret. We haven't seen him gunning. We don't know how much he's worth. We don't know anything. Let's be honest, right? Yeah, a few other arguments because a lot of the player base in some of like Argentina or Turkey, some of them like to play in the smaller pools, where people in the Americans and like Australia people, US and Europe, they have higher value ships because they have more capital to invest in this. Yeah, lots of arguments to be made back and forth. So they have lots of notes for you to read here, but I want to go ahead and thank again Victor and Stratugo from the Aephia DAC for providing this Aephia report. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the work you do and just the time that you guys put in, like, to do this. No one paid you for this, so thank you very much. Just same as me, no one pays me for this, but I just like doing it, and I I appreciate you guys, and that's it. I'm just going to leave it there. Now, speaking of appreciation, I also do want to give a small appreciation out to the people who have been donating to me in the Star Atlas in my ARC fund. As you know, the ARC is my last kind of game ship. I got 3 donations on one day. 9OM gave me 2.2 Atlas, 2.2k Atlas. APQL gave me 2,000 Atlas, and F3VF gave me 1,000 Atlas. So guys, thank you so very much. Let's go ahead and look at the my ship in the staking, which is 3 Fimble air bikes. Someone gave me 3 Fimble air bikes. I've been using the Jeeves bot. I did a tutorial. Go ahead and check it out. And it has actually been working pretty well for me. Let's see if it's gone ahead and refueled my stuff. It does take a 20% fee, which is kind of hefty, but for what you're getting, it's not that bad. They have a monopoly on the market, so you either use the product or don't. Opt out, your choice. Yeah, why isn't it loading? Don't know why. Yeah, so it has been refueling. I've got about 4 days worth of funds in there now, and it's working well. I can't complain. Let's go ahead and see. It was actually very easy. You don't have to do anything. You only send your Atlas to the Jeeves bot, and then the Jeeves bot knows which wallet that Atlas came from. And if you're staking ships in Score, it knows if it's about to run out, and then it'll refuel it for you. Because that's the trick here. It doesn't just have to be you that can refuel your ship. Anyone else in Solana who has Solana contracts can refuel your ship for you, and that's the little trick. That's the little loophole they're exploiting there. So as you can see, 3 Fimble air bikes gives you 2.2 Atlas per day. I have 9.8 Atlas, and as you can see, it just actually refueled itself here. So I'm pretty happy with that, being honest. I can't say much else. So yeah, it's not that I'm gonna use more of the Jeeves bot, but I'm actually going to keep it in mind to see if I'm losing Atlas, if I'm losing a lot of Atlas by just missing my refueling periods, then I might utilize it a little bit. Yeah, or just keep it as a stopgap, like keep 100 Atlas, send 100 Atlas there, and just refuel it just in case I miss it, and I'm going to come back and fix it myself. And if anything, you can contact them and get the Atlas back. So yeah, but of course, use it at your own risk, you know. There's minimal risk in losing your ship because it's in Score. It doesn't touch, your ships don't touch anywhere else but Score, which is a team. So yeah, I'll leave it there. All right, guys. Oh, hey, my last video was doing very well. Look at that. It's the second best performing video in the last in the first 3 days and 6 hours of the video. I think I'm very proud of this thumbnail, by the way. I'm very proud of it. So I don't know what this thumbnail is going to be. We'll have to wait and see. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm going to leave you and love you. Thank you very much. Bye.